Nissan Xtrail. It's a gearbox removal to get to the clutch. The clutch in these are a dual fly mass type 1, and here's the old baby here. It was worn out. It's done a lot of miles, but the dual mass, it's a funny looking thing. Expensive to buy, extra heavy. But anyway, to pull it out of the car, what we had to do, we had to pull the gearbox out, of course. Pull the gearbox out, you have to pull off the engine mounts, all of the electrical gear and everything like that. Bleed the radiator. You can see here that we used a clamp across the top, just a piece of steel. I use a jockey strap to lift it up in and out. It's a cheap, easy way of doing it. We had to take the engine mount that runs across here out. That's the engine mount there. It goes across to the back member there. We had to jack up the engine so we could do it. So you had to have multiple jacks. On this side of the car we had to take out the 2 drive shafts to start with. We had to loosen all the suspension off. Down inside here there's actually another engine transfer case, and I'll go down and have a look at that. So that transfer case there, we had to take that off to get it out, which meant we had to take the exhaust pipe off so we could take the transfer case out of the way, to take the tail shaft out as well. This rear engine mount is diabolically difficult to get into. You can't physically get up into that space to put your fingers in to actually do up the bolts. You have to do them, try and do them any which way you can. Actually required diving in from the top. So you had to physically get in here. Turn on the light so we can see. Alright, you had to physically dive in down the back here and down in there to get into it. 2 hands in, trying to get done. The amount of bolts that were in there, just ridiculous. The thing is, what you don't even know is that there's the engine mount in there, behind there. I had to take off all of this cross member. All of this had to come off and be loose so you could physically get in there, because you can't get into that engine mount easily. Again, had to take off all the drive shaft, steering assembly, cross member. It's just ridiculous the amount of work that had to go into doing this. But what you don't know, I'll try and get this GoPro in there, is that, oh, come on, down the back, down there is a bolt behind everything you can't physically get into. So to get the gearbox out, you had to take all that stuff off first. Anyway, the operation has been, to say the least, stressful, and I don't recommend it for an average mechanic. I went to bed the other night saying to my wife that I think that I've created a pile of steel, that I wasn't going to be able to bring it back from pulling it apart. I'm not there yet. I'm up to day 5, which I've replaced a lot of engines and things over the years, and I've never come across something as difficult as this. So for an average person, don't do it. It's been a challenge. I race cars, so pulling motors out. I could pull a motor out and a gearbox out of an Hyundai XL in just over an hour and a half. Put another one in. But to be able to do this has been 5 days of work. See if that's a comparison. Pull a gearbox out of a old Escort or something like that, I can do that in 40 minutes, replace it completely, and this, as I said, 5 days. So hopefully that's a bit of heads up. I had a look on YouTube, couldn't find anything else out there to indicate to me some of the stuff I was going to have to put up with going through it, so I thought I'd make this video. Hope that's helped. In which case I hope it's deterred a few people that may not be really mechanically minded, but likewise it is possible, but I've just had to keep myself under the idea that I can achieve it. If somebody else can do it, I can do it. But seriously, there are quite a few occasions where I thought that I had stuffed it. Alright, well, thank you for watching my video, and good luck with your project. Bye.